It's the last Shabbat before Election Day, and I hope you all take your civic responsibility seriously. And I hope you, if you haven't already voted, a lot of us have already voted, I hope that you will vote, because it's very important. You know, people have fought and many people have died just for us to have the right to cast a vote. And it's something that we should never take lightly, you know. And we have fought in this country. We have struggled to make sure that the vote is available to everyone. You know, at the very beginning of American history, only white males who were property owners could vote.
Yep.
And then we said, well, that wasn't right, and we expanded the vote to make sure that at least all males, white males, could vote. And eventually, and this is going to be something interesting, on Sunday night, there's going to be an adult education offering on Zoom. Women finally got the vote in, 1920? Something like that, the 20th Amendment, I think. And then eventually with the Voting Rights Act in 1964, we made sure that people of all races could vote. And we're still expanding the vote in certain ways. And we got to preserve it. So vote. I don't care how you vote, but vote. Now, Cantor, as I'm putting on my talis, would you lead us in a nigun?
Yeah, we're going to do a beautiful melody that we love, written by Shlomo Carlebach. La 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 brothers and friends, because of my sisters and friends, please let me ask, please let me say peace to you. La 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 la. Of the Lord, I wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord, I wish the best for you. La 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 la
Excellent.
I love that melody.
It's a beautiful melody. And we turn to page 120 for Hadlakat Nerot. That is the blessing over the Sabbath candles. And we read together. We can read together actually on page 121 if you happen to have the Mishkan Tefillah with you. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher ונשאר במצוותיו, וציוונו להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת.
And we continue with the Kiddush on page 122. Vayichulu hashamayim v'ha'aretz v'choletz v'am. This means, and the earth and the heavens, the heaven and the earth were finished. Vayichulu, and in the Talmud it says, don't read Vayichulu, read Vayichalu. You know, you can play with the vowels a little bit. And it doesn't mean that they were finished. It means, and they finished. And the rabbi said, well, what would that mean if you translated this not as the heavens and the earth were finished, but they finished the earth and the heaven? And the rabbis say, every time you say the Kiddush, you are a partner with God in the finishing of creation.
Wow.
Just with our words and our trying to be as good as we can be, to be the most decent human beings that we can be, and to bring Torah and light into the world. We are God's partners. We're helping to finish. We are helping to finish creation. Isn't that a marvelous teaching?
Nice.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam B'horei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron v'mahaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techilah למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנקלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen.
Well, Ira up in Maryland is watching. Good that you could join us, Ira. And Cappy is watching, and Marlene Pinsker. And Jeff Kurtzlender, my good friend, Rabbi Kurtzlender in Pittsburgh is watching. And Sharon Tannenhouse. Hi, Sharon. And let's see, Dee. Oh, it's so good that you could join us, Dee. And Al has got to be watching if Dee is watching, right?
Well, probably.
Probably, right. And Shai and Nancy, Ross is watching. Sheila Margolis and my wife is watching. And Phyllis Cohen over at 5 Star. Those are the people we know who are watching on FaceTime. There may be others who are watching on our live streaming.
You mean Facebook?
What did I say, FaceTime?
Yep.
You're right, Facebook.
Gotta get your face right.
And you can be watching on YouTube. You can be watching on Roku. Wow. Roku. So many ways. So as long as you're here with us.
Right.
Cantor, we continue on page 128 with some Zmira.
Let's do our regular Hine Matov, Rich. Here we go. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Hakim Gam Yachad. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. A little fast. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה 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 מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לה 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 לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. Okay, we're going right down the page. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. How lovely today is. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat shalom.
Some other people want to wish our Temple family a Shabbat Shalom. Nancy and Agnes and George and Jeff and Vicky and Stuart and Sherry. Oh, and a few and Nori Gluck.
Huh.
So those people are wishing the rest of us, all of us, a Shabbat Shalom, and we wish you a Shabbat Shalom as well.
Okay, let's go to page 130, Psalm 95, L'chuna Ranana. L'kuneranana, 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 l'Adonai. L'kuneranana, 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 l'Adonai. Naria, naria, Betzor Yishenu, Nikad Mafana Betoda. Naria, naria, Betzor Yishenu, Bismirot naria lo. L'kuneranana, 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 l'Adonai. L'kuneranana, l'kuneranana, the words are great to that. Come, let us sing joyously to Adonai. Raise a shout for our rock and redeemer. Beautiful. That's pretty joyous.
Yeah, I know. You got to be joyous. You're not allowed to be sad on Shabbat. And, there's plenty of reason to be sad during the week. But on Shabbat, you got to put it aside. You've got to lift up your hearts and let your burdens down and lift up your hearts and your voices and sing. You make yourself happy. You will yourself to rejoice in Shabbat and in your blessings.
I love that. Okay. Let's do Lecha Dodi on page
138.
138. We'll do our jazz version 1, 2, 5, and 9. Verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. La 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 la. Kadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Shamor v'zakor b'dibor echad, Ishme'anu el ameyukad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Shemoti faret v'letehi la 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 la. Kadodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Likrat Shabbat lekuvenelka, ki himekor habraka, merosh mikedem nesuka. So ma'aseh b'makshava tefin la 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 kadod. Likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Hitoreri, ki vahorek umiori. Uri shir daberim, kavod Adonai alaikni la 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 kadoti, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Boi v'shalom atet bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi kala. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabala. Leka dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat mikabela la 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 leka dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat mikabela. Leka dodi likrat kala. Pene Shabbat mikabela. On page 40, we have Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat. And there's a melody that I just love, and I know a lot of you do too. So we have to go 11 lines down. Ma gadlu, ma hasecha Adonai ma'od amku machshavotecha, which means, how great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. And the rabbi who wrote this, Rabbi Shefa Gold, changed one little thing. Ma gadlu ma asecha ya. Another one of God's names. Goes better with the music. Everybody can sing with us. Ma gadlu ma hasecha ya.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Me'od amku machshavotecha. Ma gadlu ma hasecha ya. How very subtle your designs. Everything.
Beautiful.
Everything works perfectly. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Okay. Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Ihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Oachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
You know, Irene Devon loved this congregation. She passed away earlier this week, but her
Not this week,
this
a few
year,
months ago.
a few months ago.
Yeah.
And her daughter Linda is watching right now, and she just wanted to say to Richie and Manny how much Irene loved your music. Thank you so much.
We loved Irene.
Yeah, Irene was quite the lady.
I would talk about the St. Louis Cardinals with her. She was an old fan of she would tell me about how she used to go to the Knothole Gang. They would let you in for free if you were a kid.
Yeah.
We would talk about that.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Linda, thank you for that sweet message.
Yeah.
We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
Yitkadav, Yitkadav, Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Yamadi V'rakirutei V'yamlik Malkutei B'cha Yechon U'yomechon U'chayedecho Be'Yisrael Bagala Ubizman Karivimero
Amen.
Yeheshmei Rabba Mevora Leolam Ulam Amaya Yitbarak Yishtabach Yitpahar Yitramam Yitnatsei Yitadar Yitalem Yitalav Shemei Kudishah Le'elam Min Koberchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'chemata Damiran B'yama B'imru Amen.
We rise for the Baruch Hu.
Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Arechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Arechu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto Le'olam va'ed.
And we continue with the V'ahavta, page 154.
V'ahavta el Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Well, we always sing Micha Mocha, which is our way of rejoicing that our people came out of Egypt. We came out of that very narrow place. You know, the word Egypt in Hebrew is Mitzrayim, which literally means a narrow place. So we are always coming out of Mitzrayim. We're always coming out of a narrow place to a more expansive place. Well, you know, during this pandemic, a lot of us feel that we are in a narrow place. You know, our movements are a little restricted, our activities are curtailed, and we don't get to hang out with our friends and our loved ones as much as we would like. But on Shabbat, we push away those boundaries for a while. We open up our hearts and we celebrate freedom. We have to be careful. We still have to socially distance from each other and all of that. But our hearts are open, our minds are expansive, and on this day, on Shabbat, we rebel against that sense of narrowness, and we celebrate by singing Micha Mocha.
Micha Mocha ba'eli Madonna, Micha Mocha neda b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei felet, Nora tehilot osei felet. Malkutecha u'manecha, Pokea yam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai imelo le'olam va'ed, Adonai imelo le'olam va'ed. Micha Mocha ba'eli Madonna, Micha Mocha neda b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei felet, Nora tehilot osei felet.
Shabbat opens us up and brings us to a wider, more expansive place in our hearts. Good. And now we turn to Vishamru on 162.
Vishamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini u'beinei Yisrael, oti li'olam, oti li'olam, oti li'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the tefillah on 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu V'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VaHanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezoker Kasei Avot V'Imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo,
Be'ahava.
Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayem Metim, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mekayem Metim Berachamim Rabim, Zomek Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Dishenei Afar, Bichamocha Ba'agevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Meimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat al hakayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekayeh hametim.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalu chatzela. And Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh, and we say Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Please be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. And may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And we turn to page 177. At the top of the page, God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'eh lahodot. Shalom Rav.
Our prayer for peace in the world. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tatzim Leholam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tatzim Leholam. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lekol HaShalom. Ki Atahu Melech Adon Lekol HaShalom. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tatzim Leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tatzim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'kol eit u'b'kol sha'a yishlomecha. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tatzim Leolam. Shalom Rav HaYisrael Amcha Tatzim Leolam. Tatzim Leolam.
Well, a friend of mine, a wonderful therapist who practices up in Boca Raton, Dr. Matthew Anderson, just did a video, and you can watch it on YouTube. I highly recommend it. It's called 75 and Still Alive. 75 and Still Alive. My good friend Matthew is turning 75, or I think he's already just had his birthday. And it's a marvelous video about growing older, about, advancing in your life. Now, I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school when I say most people who get involved in synagogue life in a serious manner are usually a little older, right? 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, something like this. And, there is something very spiritual about being involved in synagogue life, in religious life. And Matthew has some questions that he asks on this video that I think are very important. I'm just going to give you what I think is the most important question. Now, those of you who are in the middle or, past the middle of your lifespan, and, let's say you're over 50 or you're over 60, you're more than halfway there, right? Wherever there is. Ask yourself this question. This is the question that Dr. Anderson, Matthew Anderson, asks. Are your best days behind you, or are they ahead of you? Think about that. Are your best days behind you, or are they ahead of you? And I know a lot of people will say, oh, they're behind me. When I was working full time, or I was younger, or this or that. You know what? If you can answer that my best days are ahead of me, no matter what age you are, you know what? You're still alive and you're still progressing. And, in fact, if you can say it and actually believe it, it's true. Your best days are ahead of you. This week's Torah portion drives that home in a very serious way, and I'll get to that in a moment. We live in a culture that worships youth, that somehow treats getting older as almost a disease. Getting older, it's something to fight. It's something to, if people say to you, gee, if you tell them your age and they go, you don't look that old. Usually you take that as a compliment. But why should you take it as a compliment? You should be proud of however old you are. Because with age comes wisdom, experience. Oh, sure, there's some losses. You're not physically as adept as you may have been. You lose a step or two, but you gain other things. Your recall may not be quite as quick trying to recall a fact, but your analytical powers, your powers of putting things together, because in a way, you're a little slower, so you look at the whole picture. And you have the gift of seeing the long range, where someone will get all upset about some crisis, a young person, that's happening right now. You're a little older and you look at it and you go, been there, I've done that. It works out. It's not serious, we got to deal with it, but put it into perspective. See the long picture. That's wisdom. And, we have two older guys running for president right now. And some people regret that. Two guys in their 70s running for president, right? What's wrong with that? With age comes wisdom.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We hope it. Some older people can be kind of foolish. But with the years can come wisdom. You see this in sports. I know you like sports. I like sports too. You see this sometime with an older athlete who's lost a step.
Oh, yeah.
But they know something else. They've gained some perspective. The quarterback who doesn't have the wheels anymore. He can't run quite as fast, but he sees the whole field. He plays. He knows how to pace himself, and he knows how to strategize. Well, my friend Matthew, in his video, he talks about an Irish poet by the name of David White. I believe it's spelled W-Y-T-E. David White is a contemporary Irish poet. And he talks about a sheepdog that he has or had named Cumro. And, if you've ever seen a sheepdog, they are very energetic. They run this way and that way, and you got to think very carefully if you're going to get one as a house pet, because they need exercise. They are those dogs that know how to herd the sheep, and they run this way and that way. Well, what does David White, in one of his poems, what does he say about his old sheepdog? His old sheepdog who couldn't run that fast anymore, but was a wise old sheepdog. And instead of chasing the sheep this way and that way, he would turn his head this way, and the sheep would turn that way. And then he'd run a little bit, and then if they needed to be over there, he would just turn his head, and the sheep would move. That is the gift of age. That's the gift. That's the kind of gift that you get as you progress through your life. So this week's Torah portion is called Lech Lecha. And it's about the founder of Judaism. It's about Avraham Avinu. It says, Lech Lecha. We're going to study it tomorrow. in our Torah class. It goes, Vayomer Adonai el Avraham, Lech lecha me'artzecha umi moladacha umi beit avicha el makom asher arecha. It's so God says to, it says to Abram, who later on becomes Abraham, go forth from your land, your birthplace, your father's house, to a land that I will show you. Abram has no idea where he's going. God just says, leave your father's house, your family circle here, leave the land of your nativity, and I will make you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great. You shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will pronounce doom on those who curse you. Through all the families of the earth, through you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. You know how old he was when he got this command from God? He was 90 years old. He was 90 years old when he started off on this journey, and he didn't know where it was going to lead him. And at 90, it was just the beginning of his adventure. Oh my goodness. He goes to a new land. There are ups and downs. He creates a new religion. He had this vision of God in which there was one God, an indivisible God, an incorporeal God, a God who cared about how people treated each other. This was quite revolutionary. And along the way, he advocates for Sodom and Gomorrah. You remember those sinful places? He tries to turn them around, he tries to save them. There's a war he's involved with where he fights an invading army. There's the whole testing of Abraham with Isaac. That's something we read about on Rosh Hashanah. It is the most amazing journey, and it all began when he was 90 years old. Whatever age you are, you have to have a vision of your best days are ahead of you. Don't ever say, I'm done. Don't ever say that. Don't sit back in your rocking chair and say, it's all over. No. As long as you're breathing, as long as you have a story to tell, as long as you can inspire a younger person by sharing your story, as long as you can share a little bit of your wisdom with others, as long as you can, pick up a new habit, a new hobby, or something like that, read a new book, think about something new, you're always alive, and your best days are ahead of you. This is the message. This is the message of this week's Torah portion. And incidentally, I recommend that you look at my friend's video on YouTube.
Where do we just look up his name, or where is it?
It's 75, the number 75, and Still Alive.
Just look that up.
Just look it up on YouTube. It'll come
I want
up.
to see it.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I got to let him know that I spoke about it.
Yeah.
And I mentioned him because this week it fits so much into his message.
Still alive. Moses was also a late bloomer.
Moses was, and Akiva.
Oh, yeah.
Akiva was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
I'm a late bloomer. You're a late bloomer.
You better believe
Are you a late bloomer? I know you wear bloomers, but that's a whole other thing.
You know what, Rabbi? You made me think of something here.
What's that?
We have a wonderful man in our congregation who is a plastic surgeon, Dr. Yoav Barnavan.
Mm-hmm.
He told me an interesting little story that goes along with this. He told me years ago he was on a trip to Australia with a group of plastic surgeons.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you this?
I
story?
don't think so.
And they went. I don't know what the area is where the Aborigine people live. What do you call that area?
Well, I think it's in various places.
Okay. Well, they have an area. So they
yeah.
took them there, and this group of plastic surgeons was there, and the leader, the tour guide, got out and he was talking to the elder of the native people there, and this older Aborigine man, he said, well, and he explained to them they're doctors, and he said, well, what kind of doctors are they? And he said, well, they're plastic surgeons. And this man said, well, what's a plastic surgeon? And the leader, the tour guide said, well, they do surgery on people to make them look younger. And he said, well, why would they want to do that?
Yes.
That's what he said.
Isn't that what?
And why would they want to do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We live in a culture that worships youth. And, the Jewish tradition is about honoring wisdom, the wisdom that comes with elders.
Yeah.
And we've gotten away from that. And I think we really have to start. Well, we elders, we skenim, we have to see ourselves as vital and having something still to offer, and to be vital and alive in ourselves, and not buy into it, not try and be younger than we are. That's not the idea, but to use our everything that life has taught us to be more vital, more alive, and to see our best days are ahead of us.
I like that.
Okay, and now we want to make some Misha Berachs here.
Yeah.
I know about Mitch Burke, a dear friend of Marilyn and mine, up in New York, and Eileen Yudi, and my dear sister-in-law, Andrea Larson, our niece, Desiree Kurtz, Lottie Green, who is Gloria's mother, and Marcia Rapp out in San Diego, former president of our congregation. She's ill this week. And also Mort Kalin, who's a great man, and he's been a member of this congregation for many, many years. He needs healing also. Do you have others?
Yep, I have a few names. People call me during the week and ask me if I could say a prayer. So we're going to say a prayer tonight for Connie Glazer, for Elise Siegel-Chin,
Yes.
for Ray Strauss, for Lily Stander, Gary Ford, Bernie Besserman, Dr. Barry Kaplowitz, who's getting over back surgery.
Yes.
Dr. Mike Gukas, Dan O'Brien, Karen Morris, and a wonderful guy who worked here for several years on the maintenance staff, Mario
Yes.
Torres. Mario who survived a motorcycle accident by the grace of God, and
Thank God.
he's really banged up, but it's a miracle.
And Michael Friedman.
And Hannah Lipton.
And Michael Friedman.
And Hannah's in the hospital.
And Hannah's in the, Hannah. Yeah. And Murray, her brother, is also healing. So we remember them all as we say the Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBraka Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berak imotenu, Mekor habraka lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And we have some birthdays. Maestro. It sounds like Mozart. He's playing it like Mozart. Well, David Silverstone is having a birthday. David Mandel. Susan Lazarus. Kevin Navarro. Silas Hoover. And Audrey Efros. Ira Chaffin and Ruth Gantman. And we have some kids who are having some birthdays. Lauren Robbins, Mila Winger, Benjamin Winger, and Sabrina Portman. So we wish you all happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May we bless God for having conceived you, thought of you in the divine mind. We bless the parents who brought you into this world, who loved you and cared for you, and we bless the day that you were born. And I need some romantic music now. Ah, yes, we have some anniversary. Ah, beautiful. Susie and Dr. Kenny Badowski. That was a blessed day when you two found each other. When you looked into each other's eyes and you went, wow. And Barbara and Mark Schultz. Wow, that was an incredible day when you two fell in love. When God brought your souls together. Love is wonderful. When you find your beshert, when you find the one you were intended to be with, life is perfect and beautiful. So we bless God who brought you together. We bless the day, the anniversary that you discovered how beautiful and wonderful each of you are. So all of you who are having birthdays and anniversaries, I say, Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you. May God watch over you. Ye'er Adonai panav alecha v'yichuneka. May God shine a divine countenance, a divine light around you, and be gracious unto you. Isa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God be with you every step along your life's journey. And may you be blessed with peace. Amen. And now we rise for the Elenu on page 586.
Aleinu l'shabayach l'adon hakol, Latek gdula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam Elokeinu kahem, v'goraleinu kechol hamonam, v'anaknu korim u'mishtakavim u'modim, Ifnei Melech, Malkei Hamlakim, HaKadosh, Baruch Hu, V'nemar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom ha'hu, Bayom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo, U'shemo, U'shemo echad.
This week we observe the Yortzites of Bernice Edelman. Betty Backman, Pearl Benwitt, Gertrude Bilski, Hilda Bloom, Carl Ettinger, Nathan Friedman, Estelle Gerson, William Gross, Leroy Gulen, Julius Halpern, David Hatz, Rosa Kovalitsky, Dina Lewinter, Sally Lipman, Alexander Mintz, Belle Mosheim, Sarah Nissenberg, Michael O'Donnell, Jacob Pincus, Edith Pollock, Jack Posrow, Harry Price, Fanny Redlick, Martin Rossino, Gertrude Rosenfeld, Sarah Shirley Sadlovsky, Alfred Yitzhak Sadlovsky, Helen Schaffen, Harry Schinder, Hyman Schlaffer, Joseph Schneider, Gertrude Shore, Seymour Simon, Morris Summer, and Norman Zakin. And as always, we remember the 6 million. And we are presently in the Shloshim period for Natalie Hayden, Jan Liederman, and Elaine Rudner. The Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Gerutei v'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayichon v'yomechon uv'chayedechol Beit Yisrael, Bagalav v'zman kariv v'romen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Olamaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushvachata v'nechamata da'miran v'alma v'imromen Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imromen Osei shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Well, we have our Torah class tomorrow, 9:30, followed by Shabbat services. Sunday night, we have an adult education program online. It's about Jewish suffragettes. I spoke about Jewish suffragettes a few weeks ago, and there's going to be a great discussion about it. Go on our trending and you'll get the information you need on how to participate. Let's see, we have yoga on Monday, transitional yoga at 11 o'clock. From Tuesday to Friday at 9:30, I lead meditation, and we have Minyan at 9 o'clock on Thursday mornings. You don't want to miss the Cantor's class. On Thursday, 6 o'clock, everything you wanted to know about Judaism. I have my Talmud class at 11:30 on Wednesday morning. So a lot is happening around here. There's probably other things going on, but you have to check trending.
And turn the clocks back, right?
That's right. In the fall forward, back.
Right.
In the spring forward.
I saw a guy on Facebook said he's going to turn the clock back to when he was 20.
Well, I heard someone say, I'm not going to turn my clock back because, I mean, seriously, who needs another hour of 2020?
Well,
this year has
coming
been
to
tough.
an end.
It's coming to an end. Oh, and you know, Jewel and Barb and Dave have been watching, and I like to give a shout out to people. I'm sorry if I didn't give a shout out to all of you. Oh, Joan, hello, and a few others. And I'm sorry I can't give a shout out to the people who are watching on Roku and YouTube and our streaming service. But thank you for letting us come into your homes to celebrate Shabbat. And thank you for coming into our Shabbat table. And it's so nice. It's so nice to celebrate Shabbat with you. I can't tell you what it means to me. It lifts up my heart every Friday night. How about you bounce us out with a good Shabbat tune?
Okay, well, this is a tune for all time. I figured, thinking about what to end. Tonight, I want to thank Bonnie and Steve, who sponsored our accompanist, Richie, tonight. And Bonnie and Steve Oppenheim. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Steve. And they always want me, they ask me if I would sing a Sinatra song every week when they sponsor it. Now, this next song is not associated with Frank Sinatra, but I'm going to sing it the way he did in some of his shows in Las Vegas. He would end the show with America the Beautiful. And he would sing it in a little different kind of a way, like a love song, like a tender love song. So I think with everything going on, you know, a lot of crazy stuff happening in our country, but boy, we love our country. And you know, it made me think this week. I was thinking, both of my grandfathers came to America by themselves when they were 15 years old.
Wow.
They were 15 years old. They just decided, I got to get out of here. I'm going to America. And they both came from Lithuania. And you very, very rarely meet people who survived World War II from Lithuania. The Jews just didn't, they didn't survive.
Thank God they got here early.
Yeah, so this country has been everything for us, and we're grateful, and we got problems, but we're going to lick them, and we're going to go on, and we're going to get better. And that's the way I look at it. So if you want to turn in your prayer book, page 681, we're going to sing America the Beautiful, and I'm actually going to sing all 4 verses, because they're all in here.
What page?
681.
Okay.
681. So we're going to sing this beautiful song. You know what? When I decided to sing this song, I thought about it the other day, and I had seen a video of Sinatra's, one of his shows at Caesar's Palace, and he ended the show like this. So I looked up America the Beautiful. You know who wrote America the Beautiful?
Ira Gershwin, I bet.
No.
No?
Catherine Lee Bates. In 1893.
Wow.
She wrote this song while on a trip to Colorado.
Yeah?
And when she climbed to the top of Pikes Peak, she was so moved by the breathtaking view that she wrote America the Beautiful.
Isn't that great?
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
So you can sing with us. When we get to the chorus, everybody knows it.
Boom, boom.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet, whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw, confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Oh, beautiful for heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Crown thy good with brotherhood. That's what we need. Brotherhood, sisterhood.
Yep.
We need, however you vote, you vote this way, somebody voting the other way. The other person loves this country as much as you do. You may see it differently, but that's what democracy is about, right? But we have to have this sense that we're all in this together. Would you join me in the Motzi?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. Toda rabah.
Hello, Davar. Nice job.
Beautiful, Rich. Thanks.
Excellent.